Good morning, everyone. My name is Akol Agwengong, and I'm the president of our community in the U.S. I take this opportunity to thank Channel 17 for giving our guest this opportunity to present his message to the audience here in Burman and around the U.S. Joining us in the studio here is Dr. Right Reverend Dr. Abraham Jung Mayoma Juong.
Thank you.
Jung Mayoma Juong is a lost boy like us. He left Sudan back in 1987, went to Ethiopia with us. We returned to Sudan, in 1991, and found ourselves at Kakuma refugee camp in Kenya in the early 1990s. Jung Mayom did not join us here in the U.S. He did not resettle, but he was a lost boy. Dr. Ju has been trained in theological studies with a diploma in theology, a bachelor's degree in theology, a master's degree also in theological studies, and 2 doctorate also in theological studies and postdoctorate degree as well. Abraham Ju is a clergy by profession as an ordained a pastor and now a bishop. He also cut his teeth in humanitarian work, having worked for United Nations Development Program. He has also served as a public servant at the office of the President of the Republic of South Sudan as a General Secretary for Religious Affairs. Then he took a teaching job as a professor at the University of Juba and also as a professor at John Garang Memorial University in Bor. He has been called by his people to serve as a diocesan bishop, and he left that profession and became a bishop for the Diocese of Malek. The Malek is, these are the first missionaries back in 1905, 1906. Malek is the first missionary site in the whole Sudan, and so Bishop became the first diocesan bishop of Malek. He has been a bishop for how many years now?
I've been a bishop since 2014.
2014, and he has been in the U.S. Trying to reach his people and also visiting. And he came to Burman yesterday to be with us for a family visit. Next to Bishop is Mauna Yoriak. Mauna Yoriak is the chairman of our community, Gwala community, here in the U.S. He was also the board community chairman in Syracuse. And he has a profession also in the healthcare industry. He dropped with the bishop yesterday to be with us here. And as a chairman of Gwala community, he is also the executive director of Gwala Community Vision for Development, the nonprofit organization that we created many years ago in order to channel development resources back home to do development projects. So he's here in the studio with us. And next to Maud is Chol Doriak, our chairman here, the chairman of Sudanese community in Burman, and also the executive director of Sudanese Foundation of Burman, also our nonprofit organization that is supporting us here. So this show for all Burmanters is for the bishop to present his diocesan strategic plan to Burmanters and to people who would be interested in supporting his diocese. So without further ado, I will give this opportunity to the bishop to present his diocesan strategic plan that I have seen a few months ago in Boston. Very interesting program that could actually enable the diocese to be self-sufficient. So the floor is yours, Right Reverend Dr. Abraham Ju, to present your diocesan strategic plan. We will have a follow-up question after that, so take it over.
Thank you so much for your presentation. I want to take this opportunity to greet you all over there who are watching this Channel 1. It is a great privilege for me to be in this studio with my brothers here and the team, the crew team who are covering the events. So here, as you have heard my name, I'm Bishop Peter, the Diocesan Bishop of Episcopal Diocese of Malek in South Sudan. Let me just take a brief moment before I venture into the strategic plan of the diocese. Let me just try to give you a flashback on the formation of missionary society in South Sudan. Diocese of Malek came as a result of effort from the House of Bishop of the Episcopal Church of South Sudan to restore back the historical foundation of the Episcopal Church of South Sudan. Malek Missionary was formed by Hajbul Shaw. A team of Hajbul Shaw was sent from UK, CMS. By then, that was 1905, 1906. These were the 2 years of initial plan, but that was not the end of the mission. The mission goes until today. The mission is still continuous. But these were the people who pioneer. 1905 to 1906 was the hardest time for the foreign mission to labor in South Sudan. By the way, this man called Hajbul Shaw and the team behind me here that you have seen on the screen, they labor in that place for 16 years or 10 years without winning one person to Christ. And because of that, that is steadiness, because of their heart to the people, they stick on. And as a result of that, Diocese of Malek currently has produced a lot of intellectual. I mean, Malek Missionary Society has produced a lot of intellectual in South Sudan, and especially the first vice president, which I could refer back, Abel Alier, which is one of the prominent in the Sudan by then, was a former student in Malek, and many other intellectuals in South Sudan. Now the educators hail it this time were the student from Malek Mission Society, and the Diocese of Malek came into existence. When we came in as a Diocese of Malek, we did not start in a vacuum. We start from where the missionary ended, where the Hajbul Shaw ended. That's where we started and developed our strategic plan. And here are the points that I want to present to you. First of all, we have here with us the vision of the diocese. What is the vision? Because the Bible says that without vision, people perish. Without vision, people grow carelessly. Without vision, there will be no direction. And therefore, we thought in our meeting in the diocese to have a driving post vision. And our vision in the Diocese of Malek is building, transforming, and renewing families through the Word of God. Our emphasis is to build the families. Our belief is families are the basic unit of any society. A strong family produces a strong nation. A strong nation consists of strong families. A strong church consists of strong families. So if we have a tattered families, we shall have tattered nation. If we have tattered families, we shall have tattered church. So the basic strength of any old society is family, because we come from the family. If we bring up our families, we will have a strong. So our vision is to transform families. Our intention is to transform families. Nowadays, I don't know about the US, globally, the families are under attack of satanic as Christian families. And we thought that it is important for us to groom up the families. What is the vision of the Diocese of Malek? The vision is to prepare the body of Christ for the second coming of Christ. Now, as a body, which is soma in Greek, is that our existence is to make sure that we influence the system, we influence the structure, whether government system or any societal system. The church should have an influence. And our base is in Matthew chapter 5:13, that say that we are the salt and we are the light of the world. It means that we should be a great influence. Without light, you cannot see. If you don't have salt in your food, the food will not give a good taste. We have a strategic plan that have been approved by the Diocesan Synod. We see to it that we have a discipleship program in the diocese. Now, for you are outside there, the war in South Sudan is not about religious war. It is only Christian are fighting themselves. And what convinced my heart is that that conflict came as a result of the lack of discipleship. If we have strong disciples who have the love of Christ in their heart, we will not really assign ourselves into that. So priority number one in the diocese is to make the disciple, because the Lord has commanded us to make the disciple for a whole nation. In regard to the conflict even in South Sudan, most of our conflict in South Sudan has been exacerbated by the illiterate, because majority of people are illiterate. And therefore we have a plan in place called literacy and evangelism. We want to reach people. We have literacy and evangelism, where we are trying to let our people learn our mother tongue. Anyway, by the way, being educated is not to speak in Greek, write in Greek, not to write even in English or to speak in English. Being educated is to know and write in any language that you know. So if we will make sure that our people write in our language, then here they are educated. And that is what we are doing now. We are trying to do that in Southern Sudan, and that is none than literacy and evangelism program. Pastoral training. In the diocese, we are only 3 trained pastors, only trained pastors, and the diocese is about 41,000. Look, 3 trained pastors with that very huge number, it is very hard. What we have done is really to have a program on pastoral training. This is in service training. If you could know, in service training is a skillful training that to sharpen somebody to help you in the service. So we have a plan to have in service training that is 3 weeks, because we are not developing academic. No, developing academians is a hardest program. It takes time, it takes money, and the environment with us cannot allow that. Another number 4 point in our strategic plan is peace and reconciliation. As you know, South Sudan has been in a crisis since the beginning. We did not enjoy peace, and it is the work of the church to reconcile. It is the work of the church to preach peace. And as a result of that, in the early days of conflict in South Sudan, I had initiated a program called Dinga and Nuer Pastors Peace Initiative. And this program I came out of that program because early on in 2013, 2014, what happened, international media or local media were trying to graduate the conflict in South Sudan into tribal war. And I see that that statement of saying that this war, it is between Nuer and Dinga, it was like a mobilizing sort of a statement to pit the communities. So as a pastor by then, I have to call up other Nuer pastors, come together, try to reach Nuer, try to reach Dingas, for them to know that the conflict that has happened, it has nothing to do with our tribal. And because of that, we were able to reach some places. We went to Jonglei, which was the hardest place. We went to Malakal. We went to Bantu. And because of that thirsty of seeing our community unite, without peace, it is very difficult. By the way, peace, as a peace study, a peace scholar, what I know, peace is not a silence of gun. It's not that if gun is silent, then there is peace. No. If there is no food, if there is no security, you cannot really, there is no freedom of speech, then you cannot say there is peace. And our intention is to make peace. If you want to know more about that, try to go to Anglican News Service. You will get my article on the impact of corruption in South Sudan. Try to Google on Anglican News Service. You will be able to get that. I will see how we are trying to look into that. Silencing gun is not the only one. There is another gun, which is corruption, and the church should really speak up about that. We have educational program. When we look at education program, we want to encourage basic school and high school. That is a plan that we have in the diocese. Because of the situation in South Sudan, we introduce psychosocial program. When we talk of psychosocial program, for those who are involved in drug addicts, they need rehabilitation. They need to be restored back. We introduce psychosocial to let people realize if you have a peace and reconciliation without psychosocial, then it is very difficult really to unite the communities. So we have psychosocial program in the diocese that trying to to bring the communities together. We have health program. By then, the team of Bible Show, they had a health program. We are trying to revive those programs in terms of planning and also programming. We have also family program where the families normally come together, the husband and wife come together and share the issues, because family and families are one thing altogether. And the major plan, we have a program on construction of a cathedral. It is long-term planning that we are having in the diocese. We have leprosy program in Malek. Malek is known in most of part of South Sudan as a colonial leprosy center. We have 146 persons affected by this disease, and they are so stigmatized. So we are trying to reach people, giving them health, public education or health education for people to know that this leprosy, it is a contagious disease. It is not hereditary. It is not something that you get it from your father through birth, but it is a program. It is something that you can contract it somewhere, or based on if you do not have a good gene. So we have that program, and the diocese is trying to mobilize funds to have them. We have been trying that. We are doing that on our level at the diocese. The diocese also has a women program, which is live now, which is running on. We have a chicken projects. Chicken project is on the 5 line. We have initiated it. We are trying to focus on women, because we came to realize that women are genuine than the men. Because if a woman has some money, that woman will not go and eat in the hotel, and the children remain sleeping. So we are trying to give women a chance. And these are the areas that we want to empower women. 5 areas. 1, we have got tailoring program, which is number 2, dressmaking. You can either have tie and dye, that's dressmaking. We have also food processing. In America here, it's not American who like ice cream. So we also like also. But if we have no, we like it also. So we want to have food processing. And then we have poultry program. We are planning also to chase motorboat that will help us to ferry fresh fish to Juba. Those are the challenges, those are the plan that we have in the diocese. We have about 11. We have 11 programs that we want to run. And some of the challenges that facing us in the diocese, number 1 is insecurity. The ongoing conflict has left a lot of scare, a lot of challenges in the minds of people. So, and because of connection, we don't have safety on the road from Juba and here and there. So those are the challenges that is the only challenge number 1 that we have. Other challenges are minute. If we have security, safety, everybody will be okay to see and assess. Otherwise, these are few summaries. The book is big. It's about 60-something pages, elaborate. But I try to summarize into 5 pages, at least for us to comprehend. So these are the few summary of the blueprint, I call it, of the Diocese of Malek, for us to share with you. And it will be better or it will be good. Anybody want to ask a question here among the panel? He is free. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, Bishop Dr. Joe. I have 2 personal questions for you, but I will ask Maud one quick question. You, for the last few years, you have been working with Bishop. You have been supporting Bishop in some of these initiatives. He came in 2016, and you and your leadership have been supportive of what he was trying to do. And he came again last year. And also you try to mobilize people to support Bishop in all of the programs that he's running through diocesan strategic plan. And he just came for a training, and now he's just visiting people. So my question to you, you just dropped from Syracuse, New York to Burman yesterday. What are you doing as a leader, as our leader, with people who have resources here in the, what are you trying to do to support the bishop in some of the initiatives that he is pursuing, obviously because he's running a diocese in which people are not, the resources have been destroyed by war, and you have people who can actually have resources that can support the bishop in some of the resources he's doing. What are you doing?
Yes, thank you, Akola Gwek, for hosting us here in Boman. I'm very particular grateful for this today event. In the regard to the question of what have we done, or what we haven't done yet to the Diocese of Malek. What we haven't done anything that much helping the diocese. When the bishop was ordained during that time, 2 years ago, we, the members of the Diocese of Malek, we put the fund together. It was the members of Diocese of Malek here in the U.S. It wasn't me by alone. There was a leader from QA Care by then. There was a leader of Adul. By then, there was a leader of Abang. These are the colleague whom I work with them. By them, one of them was Nyel Dondoy and Dina Majonga Kuch and Achunda Denkur by then. So we put these small resources together and we send them back home for the enthronement of the bishop during that time. This is one of the steps that I did as a leader. Bishop Peter came back this year. We didn't do that much, but we collect little resources that time. So we are the members of the diocese here in America, particular. I should say we support, but we didn't do enough. So we have challenges that we need to do more. And Bishop Peter is the man that we have really, for myself, Bishop is a gift to us. Bishop Peter is a gift to us. Why do I say that? He's an educated person, as we know, but he didn't say that I will serve the community in other areas that he wanted. But he chose to follow or to accept the will of the community of Kolnyang, particular, to say that I will serve this diocese. It was a call from the community, and it was a call from the God. So we know Bishop is a very is aware of lack of resources. Is aware of that. So to me, always he understands if we are not unable to do this time, he knows what are the challenges. But to answer your question fully, we haven't done that much. We have done the little we can. But we are praying that we will try to put our resources together in the near future or tomorrow, so that we can be able to help the Diocese of Malek. Diocese of Malek have achieved a lot of things for us, and this is the man. This is the man.
Yep, that one.
This is the man whom I have learned today that I'm pointing at, who came to Malek. That is the Hajj
Deacon.
Deacon.
Yes.
Who came to Malek that time. So this is it is now the first time I see the picture of our missionary who came to Malek. So we are happy in this studio. I'm very grateful that I have seen the person we have been talking about for many years. So Daniel Akolagwek, we will try to help Malek in whatever the way we can. And thank you.
Thank you so much, Chairman Mawood. Just just to mention two things, I did not talk about the education of the two panelists here. Mauna Yoriak is a graduate of Syracuse University, so he's a Syracuse University alum. Chol Doriak is a graduate of the University of Burman, as I am. So I left that out, so I thought I should mention that. Yeah. Going to Chol, the leader of our community here, my question basically is, you have been working with the diocese trying to introduce Bishop to the Diocese of Burman, and also you have been appointed by the mayor of the city to serve on some boards. So the bishop is here. Either are you going to introduce him to more people? I'm trying to introduce him to the people that I know. Chol is the chairman of our community. Back as a board community, is also the chairman of his own community, Adumor. So, and thank you so much for reaching out to the cathedral, reaching out to the Diocese of Burman. But I thought I would ask you about the kind of, Bishop will be here on tomorrow and maybe on Monday too, and then he's going to fly back on the 30th. So, take it over.
First of all, I'm very excited and thrilled that Bishop has finally arrived to Vermont. Before you had a plan of coming to our state, and it was not possible, and we completely understand why it did not happen. But I am proud that you're here in our state. Our community is excited that you're here.
Thank you.
We have hosted many religious leaders, as you know, Bishop Nathaniel, who was here, the first one, and we have a number of religious leaders who came here, and I'm always proud of our community. Every time we have spiritual leaders, we do our best to welcome them, support them in the best way we can. In my capacity as a state leader, as a community leader, I have done my best to acknowledge your intent and plan to come here to visit us. And the Cathedral Church of St. Paul is ready to receive you tomorrow. There's a lot of event. Your visit was a short visit, and but I'm excited about the plan, some of the activities that you'll be involved tomorrow at the church. And I know there are not many Sudanese here in the room, but later in the afternoon, you meet everybody. And so I'm excited about that. Yeah. In terms of connecting you to other state leaders, given the times and the commitments and many things and election happening, it's very unlikely that you will meet state leaders. But you know, we live in this age where if you have anything written down, you can leave a message. You can leave a message and still be connected. I am happy about the program that you laid out, and I think the Diocese of Malek is very lucky. You are a visionary leader. You're very educated, and you know exactly where you're going. And I think that's very, very important. Yes. So once you leave those kind of programs with the religious leaders here in the state, I think it'll give us a good understanding. I am proud of the work you're doing.
Thanks, sir.
I'm happy that you're making connection, you're visiting us, and that is important. So I'm grateful that you're in the studio, and this is a really wonderful resources that we have in our state. We tried to record something that can be shared with other people who are not likely to be with us in the studio. So thank you. Finally, I want to thank Akol for arranging this. It was a short period of time, and the fact that we were able to arrange this time to do this show is amazing. So I'm grateful to Akol for coordinating this show today.
Thank you so much. So let me let me go to now the two personal questions. Yeah. One, you, as I said earlier, you are a lost boy like us. 3 of us came to the U.S. You did not come. What happened?
Thank you so much. What happened was when, as you know, when we were in Ethiopia, we were driven out from Fenyundu. We ran to Sudan, back to Sudan, or to South Sudan currently. We spent a lot of time in Fashara, particularly in Golkur, where life was hard for us. And during the conflict, if you could remember, there was a time that the camp was attacked.
Yes, Pachala was captured.
Yes. Then what happened? I ran different direction. You know, you went to that side of Kapoita, and I went to that side of the Sudan, which is toward Bor. I went to Bor, stayed there all those years. Then again, I came back to Kakuma. Back to Kakuma in 1998, in which, if you could remember, when we were in Sudan, we met with you, and you took me to Nairus, and then to Nairus to Kakuma. I was thirsty for education. Coming to Kakuma, I got an opportunity to come down Kenya for studies. So the time that you guys were planning for a settlement here to the U.S. here, I was already in the seminary. I was in a Bible school, and some of you even left without even me knowing. So when I came, I found that people had gone, process has already started, so I become disadvantaged. But thank God it's not disadvantaged. God wanted me to remain there, to stick around there, to learn the situation there, educated there, and also to learn there and to become a bishop. Otherwise, maybe if I were here, I may have not made it to become a bishop. Maybe it was God's will for me really to remain behind in South Sudan. After all, now you are here and I'm still coming here. It makes no difference. Yeah.
Thank you. The second question, and this is very personal but also very professional, is you are a very highly educated person, probably 6 degrees, and you had a good job. You work in the humanitarian field with the UNDP, and then you work in the office of the president. Then you became an academic, and then your community called you and said, "Come and be a bishop. There is no car, there is no house, there is no salary," and you said yes, and you left your profession, your teaching profession. How do you manage it? I mean, do you regret sometimes that it was a mistake?
Well, I am not regretting for making that decision for a reason that even when I was in the office of president, I was not comfortable, because it became like routine critiques, because I want things to be done in a way that I feel like as a Christian. And then I found myself that I'm in the wrong place. Yes, in sense that in humanly speaking, I was in the right place, in a highly office on earth, working in the office of President Trump. I think it is one of the one of the best and glorious just to be in the presidency or to be in the White House. So, given our status,
So what is the name of your White House?
of course, you know J1.
Okay.
You know, when you talk of J1 here, you know what happened. So I am not regretting because personally, I was trained as an academia teacher just to function in the class and also function in the church. Those were the areas of my survival. I was trained as just to survive in the class, teaching in the class, or else if I'm not in the class, I should be in the church. Then I found myself in an office where I want to convert everybody to become a Christian. So I found myself in the wrong place, even tried to convert or talking about Jesus in the in the office, which
Politics.
is supposed to be the case. So I'm not regretting. Actually, I am very happy because I'm trying to help people. Our people are so needy. And to let you know that the church is the only institution that I believe that can speak up for the needy of the people. Church is an open arm, although it is seen as an institution that does not have anything. Church has been given that mandate to reconcile the communities. So with this, I'm happy to work on this not a highly profile job. So I am happy with that. I'm not regretting. I'm not regretting actually. Yeah.
Thank you. I will let Mawut and Chol weigh in if they have anything to add. But my final question would be, there is a peace being signed now, and it looks like in a few days there will be a big celebration in Juba about the peace being signed between the president, the government, and the rebels. And the hope is the peace, finally the war is dying down and people will come back together and rebuild their lives. What is the role are you going to play as the church people? It's not you now,
Yes.
it's the church as a whole. What are you going to do to sort of help these two parties who might have reconciled now to actually move forward in building the nation as people who speak for the voice of God?
The role of the church or the role of the church leaders is to be neutral. But when we talk of neutrality, it's not to condone. As when you're neutral, you talk fairly. So you will not be seen as if you are siding with the other side. So our role at the church, we want to make sure that our leaders account for all whatever they say. If they say that peace is signed, they have to live up to standard. They have to make sure that we have peace this time. So it is a hope for the church to see the political leaders, political parties should really unite around the vision to unite the church. I mean, unite the nation. We have not been there for long. Just look at my age. I voted once in life. I voted once since I was born. I have never voted. And what defied me was war. Look at my age. And I voted in 2010 for the president. All along I have never voted because of war. So war is not good and it will not solve any situation. So it is our hope, or my hope as a church leader, to make sure that our leaders should be leaders of integrity. When peace was signed, I wrote my article as I was referring you, and my article was direct to the church leaders and also to the government leaders, to make sure that, yes, we signed peace in papers, but we have to make sure that we have to deal with the corruption, because corruption is another war to fight. It's not only a cocking of a gun. So we have to be credible, and the church has to work hard to encourage government, civil leaders really to account for the little that we have, and also accord service to our people. So that's what I'm wishing. I want to see, and the church also should show that they are light and the salt. Yeah. So because if the politicians see the church, a strong church, then they will fear. They will know that church will take the lead, and church will try to outshine them. So they have to make sure that we live to the standard of our promise. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I will let Mawut and she'll take over. Yeah.
Bishop Peter,
Yeah.
with regard to the peace, you have said the church can mediate the communities to come together, especially Dinga and Nuer. These are the major big tribes who have, the war has been portrayed as between Dinga and Nuer. Now I'm talking about the peace within our neighbors of Jonglei State. What is the role of the church at the moment? What the church is doing in order to make peace with our neighbors, such as Murle, such as Nuer. What are other counterparts, your other bishop? What are they doing about the peace with our neighboring state of Jonglei State? Because in Jonglei State itself, we have cattle, cattle stealing of cattle, restaurant every now and then, especially with our brothers from Murle tribe. And I think the church also can spearhead bring the peace, even though the government is doing their part. So, what the church is doing?
Actually, what happened? The recent conflict has done a lot of damage to the political arena and to the church also, and to the social fabric. What happened in South Sudan is the war has pitted many people into their tribal cocoon. So that is a challenge that we are trying to battle at the church. Our people regard tribe as an identity than nationhood. So you find that most of people so clings to the tribal affiliation than political.
And being South Sudanese.
South Sudanese. That's what is happening. Number two, based on the finding that I came across doing my dissertation on the role of the church in healing the broken nation, doing a case study on the Upper Nile, and I came to realize that the communities in Upper Nile are, most of them are very brutal, and most of them are warriors minded. And if there will be no peace in Greater Upper Nile, I'm assuring you, you will not have peace in the whole of South Sudan. Because from what I have come across, most of conflicts in Sudan and in South Sudan mostly are caused by this tribe. And since South Sudan became a nation, the communities in Greater Upper Nile have never had an association. And because of political differences, you find that people from Barkazal, they have an association. By then, in 2010, let's say 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, there have been an association of Equatorian where the Equatorian discuss their issues. And then Baral Kazal Association, Council of Elders, they met together, Equatorian Council. Those things were there. But you find that the Great Upper Nile, they have never had any association, a unified association to discuss their common agendas. And because they do not have forum, they become explosive. So in my research, I recommend that we have to focus on unifying Greater Upper Nile. Once we see unity of Greater Upper Nile, then we will see the unity of South Sudan. But I know most of the politicians will not be happy because some of the politicians are benefiting through crisis. So that is the issue, and then what we have to see to it is that what we are doing, we have, Jonglei is bordering many tribes. My relationship with my counterpart in Mundari, that is Bishop Paul Modi, it's fine. If there is any problem between Dingabor on side of Juba, that side, we coordinate. We coordinate with him, and we share the ideas together with him. Likewise, my colleague Daniel Dengabot, who is bordering Nuer, is making an outreach, trying to reach them. So we are out there at the church to make sure that we don't sound like a tribal church. We don't sound like an ethnic church. We are globally. We are. If I'm here, I'm the Bishop of Episcopal Church. I'm within the Anglican Communion. I don't see it to be just locally, only that I cannot have episcopal duties here in the United States, but I remain as a bishop within the Anglican Communion. So given the challenge, given the mission for the church, still the challenges that are facing us, most of people, the tribe has become one of the identity. Instead of trying to see the nationality, nation. So you cannot see, there's nothing common that unite the national in South Sudan that connect them. So you find that people are so separate. You find that you cling to your tribe, I cling to my tribe. So that is a problem, and that is affecting the church. It's like the current political parties are set up on a tribal line. And so it is very difficult really to give the service. They are categorized as a tribal political parties. So and more or less the church is like being seen going toward that direction. So once you come, you want to preach, and then people will try to interpret in that way. But in actual sense, we are trying as the church leaders to see to it that we become relevant in any situation.
Thank you, Bishop Shaul.
Yeah. So I, for one, do not underestimate the work the church have been doing in South Sudan.
Yes.
I think if there is any strong influence, the church should be one of the people that should be counted, and I think it should continue. So back to your mission in the United States. I know you have a very short period of time in the state. What are your top challenges facing the diocese now, and how can the American church leaders and churches organization can be involved to help in the Diocese of Malek? What are your 5 top challenges that you may need some collaboration, some working together with friends?
One of the top hobbies or challenges that we are facing in South Sudan, and especially Diocese Malek, is partnership. And when I talk of partnership, if we have a partner, the partner has to come and see before we talk of what facing us. So come and see by yourself, and see what I'm talking. See by yourself the challenges that we are facing. See by yourself to see what you can do. But we have outlined the strategic plan as a guideline to show to it that whatever priority that you have, then you can go through. However, as I mentioned, this week, some of our team members still found that leprosy still exists, because 2 cases were discovered in Bor, and this has been confirmed by World Health Organization. 2 cases of leprosy, and you find that the number of lepers may be increasing instead of decreasing. It was my hobbies and my hope that we have to make sure that we cut the existing of leprosy, such that people will not be stigmatized. Health issue is a problem in the whole of South Sudan, and Malek being the worst, because it is far from town. Educational system is a problem, because most of few people that remain there in the diocese who have not run away, they do not have a sufficient education system. Of course, when we talk of educational, world-class education, I'm not dreaming on that, because there are some areas that we cannot dream of world-class education. It may not be just matter of one day in South Sudan, but at least basic service, basic education. Then security, one of the top. The church cannot do anything on the security matters. It is the duty of the state. Then join hand with us, and especially if American empower women, if they empower women on the 5 items that I spoke about it, training women on, try to improve on a literacy program. And then we have also food processing, training women on food processing, dressmaking, tailoring training. This will make them to be self-sufficient, and poultry program. I choose poultry program, you guys, as you know, chickens are the most despised animal. No, we are cattle keepers. Nobody will steal chicken. There are no cattle, there are no chicken raiders. There are no chicken raiders in South Sudan, but there are cattle raiders. So nobody will, and if you run around, try to round out chickens, you will not get them. They will run to their own direction. So that is the reason why we choose chicken projects, because people like eggs, they like eating white meat, and this will give them a really income. So if anybody interested in that, if can help women, empower women, the reason why we say that empower women is that in South Sudan, women are the majority. And even the churches here in the United States, the churches that I've gone through, most of people who attend the churches are women. So which means maybe women will be men in heaven. If people will go to heaven because of going to the church, then they will be the majority. So if you can try to help women, yeah, it will be quite helpful, because if you have a healthy mind woman, you will have a food at the end of the day.
Okay. And how can people who are interested in partnering with the work that you do, and how can they reach you?
If they can reach me through you guys.
Okay.
You are here. Yeah, if they cannot trace me, they can trace back to the studio here, and they can trace you here in Boman or anywhere else.
Okay.
Has any South Sudanese, where can I get Bishop Peter? And we have so many ways of reaching us. We have telephone contact, we have got email.
Good.
But for the easy correspondent, somebody wanted to contact you here, then you will know where I am.
Yeah.
And then you will be able to direct him or her to the diocese.
Perfect. We'll make sure we have your emails on there,
Exactly.
so people can reach you.
Yeah,
Thank
exactly. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So with so we should wrap it up now. One of the questions that I had is already asked by Shul, which is how do people get to reach you? For our Burman audience who are watching this show, if you want, the bishop will be here tomorrow and also on Monday. So if you would like to reach the bishop, just contact us, contact Shul, contact myself, and we will give you the opportunity to talk to the bishops. We hope that some of you will be interested in supporting him, especially his strategic plan for the diocese, which has sustainable development and humanitarian aspect of it. My last question is about leprosy. Growing up in Malek, we know that in the entire Bor area, if somebody is a leper, that person is taken to Malek and abandoned there. Yeah. And so we knew then that Malek was the
center.
The center, the center for the lepers, and I always did not know who support them, how are they supported, and some people here around the world don't even believe leprosy still exists today. So with the stigma attached to it, and with the responsibility of supporting these people falling on the diocese, you already mentioned that there is a program. How do you support them? And I actually challenge any Burman viewer who is out there, especially if you can support the leprosy aspect of it, the humanitarian work that the diocese does to support the leper, then this is the opportunity to do that. How do you support them? I mean, you don't have resources. These people may have lost limbs and hands, and they cannot produce for themselves. How do you support them?
When I came here, I got some money from you guys, as you know. So we went and buy food and store the food for them that can last for a while. And we've been trying in our level best as a diocese. And we support them also through the chicken projects. The chicken project is mainly meant for women and also for them. So when we collected some money through the sale of eggs, and then we turn in and buy food. That's what we have been doing. And also, when I came and tried to look into Malek leprosy, I came to realize, and I'm happy that I heard that the Bishop of Wales is around here, and I'm going to meet him on Sunday. I heard that it's like sometime they way backward before him. I think it's before him. It's like they were supported by Wales. Is it Bess and Wales?
That's very good.
Bess and Wales. When Hajbul Shaw established that program was supported by the Church of Bess and Wales. It's like was Bess by then. Bess, that is B-A-T-H. Bess and Wales. So that's why I said it's good that I will also meet with the Diocese Bishop, I mean the retired Bishop of Diocese of Wales, to see is he aware about this mission center, because the mission center was established there. What happened earlier on, and what prompted Hajbul Shaw to do that, was anybody found with leprosy was like viewed as an outcast in the society. And people can even kill that person because of the stigma. They think that it is hereditary. So Hajbul Shaw created a center to bring all these lepers into. So it was created way backward, and it still exists from that time. So, and when I came, they told me that they have never get a support.
When you came as a
When
bishop.
I came as a bishop, they never get a support, few, except during when the Arab were in Bor, the Sudan Army forces. But when peace agreement was signed, they did not receive any support from social welfare, Department of Social Welfare in the state. And because maybe they were forgotten, I think so. There are other organizations that have been trying to help them, but they never shown up again. So the main way to support them is through the sale of eggs, through the project for the women, and the money that the food that we bought when I went. So those are the way that to try to help them. So when I came in our statement was to make sure that before I retired, we have to make sure, that was my hope, that we'll have no any other case, any other new cases. And we've been trying to have a vaccine, but it become very difficult getting the vaccine for leprosy, to vaccine the young one, so that it will. But I realize it is a bit expensive, and vaccine institutions are closing down. Like even in India, they are closing down because the leprosy is getting out, it's being weeded out, it's being controlled. So eradicated. So now it is no longer an issue now, especially in the West here. Yeah. It's not an issue. But in South Sudan, it exists. It exists, and my hope was to make sure that we make a general vaccine, but it became unrealistic because getting that drug is expensive. It will cost a lot of money. So the best thing to do is encouraging have health hygiene education. That's what the only, and also to clean the wound such that the orphan wound will be healed. Because when the orphan wound are still there, the possibility for somebody to contract that contagious disease are very high. So those are the way, the challenges that we are facing there. Yeah.
All right, so we are wrapping up now. Thank you so much for watching this show. I take this opportunity to thank the Channel 17 and especially Kevin's for coming and recording this show for the Bishop. This was not an interview, it was a panel discussion and presentation by the Bishop. I'm not a journalist. Yeah. I'm not Yang Degichem Ko or Mading Ngor. I'm just, we were just a panelist. So thank you so much for watching us. If you want to contact Bishop, he is with us today and tomorrow, and he will leave on Monday because he's flying back to South Sudan on the 30th. One correction, as I'm just looking at the screen there, is I did tell Kevin to enter the bishop name as Abraham.
Yeah, that's correct.
Is that correct?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. So, but we know him as a cousin at Jong Mayoma Juang. So I put Abraham there. So if if you want if I want to correct that, then that's it. But other than that,
can be corrected.
then it will be corrected later on. But thank you so much for watching us. I thank the bishop for being here. I thank Maud and Chol for being here. And I thank Kevin for recording this. This is the end of the show, and it will be shared on the Facebook. It's already being streamed live on the YouTubes, and we will make it available to people who want it here, especially here around the state of Burman. So thank you so much, and this is the end of our show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
God
you.
bless you. Thank you. Shukran.